Breaking news, Arsenal could swap Gabriel Jesus for French star. Arteta updates Odegaard's situation ahead of the Tottenham derby. Plus, the Gunners are making moves to sign the £325,000 per week striker, available for free. Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Arsenal news straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. Arsenal's squad is definitely one of the strongest in Europe right now. They've been right up there going head to head with Manchester City for the Premier League title 2 seasons in a row, and you just know Mikel Arteta is crossing his fingers that the third attempt will finally pay off. No matter how this season goes, one thing's for sure, Arsenal won't be quiet in the 2025 transfer window. Rumor has it they're even looking into a surprising swap deal to shake things up. Arsenal could swap Gabriel Jesus for Inter Milan star Marcus Thuram. Gabriel Jesus continues to divide opinion at Arsenal. The Brazilian had a sensational start to life as a Gunner following his move from Manchester City in the summer of 2022. He was among the best players in the country in his first 2 months at the Emirates. However, since suffering an injury at the World Cup in Qatar, Jesus has had several issues with his fitness, and that has negatively impacted his form. Kai Havertz is now ahead of the former Palmeiras man in the pecking order, and it will be extremely difficult for Jesus to win his place back. According to a report from Inter Live, Mikel Arteta has his eye on Marcus Thuram and might be considering swapping Gabriel Jesus to make it happen. While both players are said to have a nominally equal transfer value, Inter Milan would still want some extra cash along with Jesus to give the green light for this deal. Thuram, who plays alongside Arsenal's William Saliba in the French national team, is currently under contract with Inter Milan for just under 4 more years. Thuram made the switch to Inter Milan from Borussia Mönchengladbach in the summer of 2023. Just a year after Gabriel Jesus joined Arsenal. In his debut season for Inter, Thuram put up some impressive numbers. He scored 15 goals and racked up 14 assists in 46 games, playing a key role in helping the club win the Serie A title. In contrast, Jesus played 10 fewer games during that same 2023-24 season and managed only 8 goals and 8 assists across all competitions. As for the current season, Thuram has hit the ground running with 4 goals and 2 assists in just 3 matches, while Jesus has barely featured, clocking just 5 minutes of football and hasn't registered a goal or assist yet. On paper, Thuram definitely seems like an appealing option, but it might be smarter for Arsenal to set their sights on signing Alexander Isak in 2025 instead. Mikel Arteta gives update over Martin Odegaard's injury ahead of Tottenham versus Arsenal. Mikel Arteta already had to deal with the suspension of Declan Rice and an injury to new signing Mikel Merino, but was handed an extra headache as Odegaard picked up an injury during the international break. It has been suggested that Odegaard's injury could keep him out for 3 weeks, which would mean he misses trips to face Spurs and Manchester City in a disastrous blow. However, the midfielder has not been completely ruled out yet, and Arteta has now given a promising update on his injury. Speaking in his pre-match press conference, Arteta revealed that Odegaard needs to undergo more tests before he be included or ruled out of the North London derby. We need some more tests. Let's see what happens in the next day or so. This afternoon probably. Let's see the extent of the injury and how quickly we can get him back. He is super positive about everything. Martin wants to be there every single day, but we have to wait and see. Arteta stated, "I leave that to the doctor. He's willing and he wants to be present in every game. We need to make sure we know first how good he is or not." Arteta then refused to rule Odegaard out of contention. Players with 48 hours before the game are always available. Let's see what happens. Can Martin Odegaard start for Arsenal at Tottenham? Odegaard hasn't been officially ruled out yet, but the tough truth for Arsenal is that he probably won't be fit to start even if he does get cleared. His ankle injury, which had him twisting painfully, meant he was on crutches earlier this week. Even if the injury isn't too serious, the swelling around his ankle will likely leave him short of full fitness. With Arsenal having a big trip to Man City coming up next week, it might be wise to give Odegaard a bit more time to recover properly, even though his absence will be a significant blow for the match at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Gunners are making moves to sign the £325,000 per week striker, available for free. Arsenal's sporting director Edu Gaspar is already making moves for the next transfer window. This summer, the Brazilian really outdid himself with his signings, bringing in David Raya, Ricardo Calafiori, Mikel Merino, Neto, and Raheem Sterling. He also managed the exits of Aaron Ramsdale, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Eddie Nketiah, among others. Just this Thursday, Mikel Arteta's new Arsenal contract was announced, and now it looks like EDU is also working hard to extend Gabriel Magalhaes' contract. On top of that, EDU is already planning ahead for the next two transfer windows. Give Me Sport has even revealed one of his strategies for the future. Arsenal eye move to sign Leroy Sane for free. Leroy Sane was a hot topic in the summer, with rumors swirling about a potential move away from Bayern Munich. The guy's a real talent, he's fast, an amazing dribbler, can slot into any attacking role, and has Premier League experience from his time at Manchester City. It's no surprise Arsenal had their sights set on him, but nothing came of it this summer. However, that might change in 2025. According to GMS, both Arsenal and Newcastle United are eyeing Sane for next summer. He'll be available on a free transfer, which makes him a tempting option for both clubs. Sane is set to discuss a new contract with Bayern Munich, but the club wants him to cut down his hefty £325, 000 a week salary. Arsenal are keeping their fingers crossed that Bayern and Sane can't reach a deal, which would open the door for them to snatch him up for free in the summer of 2025. Given that Arteta played a big role in Sane's development during their time together at Manchester City, that existing relationship could be a key factor in sealing the deal next year. All summer long, there was chatter on social media about Arsenal being interested in a secret German player. Well, Team News and Ticks finally cleared up the mystery. It turns out it was Leroy Sane. Arsenal did indeed have discussions with him about a potential move to the Emirates. However, the transfer didn't go through because Bayern Munich couldn't land two of their top targets, Desire Doa and Xavi Simons. He said on his Patreon, "So again, I get loads of stick for this. It was said that we might be signing a certain international, and then I was told it had legs and we are chasing a German international. Not that it's definitely going to happen. I later found out it was Sane, and we were talking to him, but we couldn't agree a deal with Bayern, because they missed out on two key targets, Xavi Simons and Doué. They wanted both, but they got neither. It shows at the end of the window they didn't even get Coman out." Arsenal told William Saliba's future may have just been secured after massive news this week. Reports suggest that Real Madrid has set their sights on William Saliba for the long haul, given that he's now considered one of the top defenders in the world. With interest in him likely to grow, Arsenal are hoping to hold on to the 23-year-old. French expert Jonathan Johnson has mentioned that Mikel Arteta's new contract and the stability it brings could be a key factor in Arsenal's efforts to keep Saliba at the club. He's one of their top talents at the moment and one of the best defenders in world football, and after a strong showing at the Euros, he's shown he's in that world-class bracket. He stated of Saliba, "I think now that Mikel Arteta's future has also been cleared up, I think Saliba will be looked at as a player that the Gunners hope to keep as a key cornerstone for the team. For the moment, I can't see anyone going in for Saliba, while he remains such a key part of that Arsenal project, but depending on what happens this season, who knows?" Saliba is definitely on the path to becoming the best center-back in the world, and Arsenal really do have a gem in him. For Arsenal to keep him long-term, they need to show they can not only compete for major trophies, but actually win them. Securing the Premier League or the Champions League could be crucial in convincing Saliba to stay. As long as Arteta is at the helm, it seems like Saliba is likely to stick around. But if Arsenal don't manage to win any silverware before Saliba's contract starts winding down, they could face a tough challenge in keeping him, especially with big clubs like Real Madrid potentially showing interest. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.